Hi, everybody. I'm Mike.
I'm Alan.
I'm Cody.
And we're going to watch the Queen music video in front of everyone.
Don't you know you're queen? We are even flower bloom at my feet.
Don't want to. That wasn't me running, right?
Yes, that was a body double, and that I think that opening shot is really amazing.
It's cool.
And I have to give credit to the DP. That was actually his idea. That opening shot, just not the body double thing, but just having you in the rear view mirror. Because I remember that was like really difficult to get, and that was actually the DP Christopher Good. That was his idea for that brilliant opening shot.
And was he my body double too?
No, I
Who
can't.
was my body
I don't
double?
remember who the body.
Why
double
do I think
was.
it was him?
It
That's
definitely
what I was
wasn't
gonna
him because he was like operating the camera.
Right.
Yeah, I love that intro. I think it's amazing. I think it's like really bold, the same way that the song is.
Mm-hmm.
It matches really well, and it's a bit like disorienting and trippy and confusing.
Yeah, for sure.
Good.
Who was my body double? Did he look like me? I remember him.
He didn't really look like you, but he had a similar like shape, silhouette.
Right.
The silhouette was similar.
Was he wearing that exact same like sequin?
Yeah, he wore all
Yeah, because you only see Mike's head in the
Mhm.
rear view.
Oh right, all right. So there wasn't two tops. It was the top.
It was
The
the
top.
top. Yeah,
That
because that was
iconic
like
top.
it was a Margiela top, right?
Yeah.
It was like a bodysuit.
Yeah, it's cool. And then we have Erica, who's a friend of mine from Kansas City, and I think she kind of looks a little bit like Sharon Tate. That
She
was
does.
kind of the main reason that we wanted to use her in the video. So, yeah.
Don't you know you're queen? Cracked, peeling, riddled with disease. Don't you know you?
So there's this is like one of the first times I ever did VFX. Mike's face is actually like put over hers, but I mean, which at the time looked really amazing, and now watching it, it looks so like lo-fi and shit.
It's cool like that, though, I think.
No, it still works, but you know what I mean. It's just like watching it now. It's like, oh, I would have done that so much differently.
Well, I remember when we first saw like the first cut of it, and it was, like just like a blob for the face, and it was just like, this is gonna come later. And I remember being like, oh, I'm really curious to see how that turns out. But I was so impressed. I was like, I can't. This is like technology.
Yeah, the future.
The future, and
Yeah, at the time it was kind of cool.
in this moment, it's kind of crazy because it looks like I can't tell who that is. It looks like a hybrid of the two of you.
Well, it's like that's Mike's eye, I think, in his mouth.
Yeah.
Is that her nose?
Yeah,
Cool.
but you guys both
We
have
should
like
do
a
that.
similar
Mhm.
like, kind of feature thing. And then there's like the box of chocolates that are in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like, if you look really, there's like ants crawling around. Do you
Mhm.
remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, good times. Actually, though, because like one thing, remember when we were first talking about it, you sent me like an email with like some like kind of open-ended ideas.
Mhm.
I remember there was one note that you had in there about like a family watching Forrest Gump. Do you remember this?
I think, yeah, because I wanted to like
There was
infiltrate something a lot.
Okay.
My ideas were like, I want to stomp around in
yeah.
a situation, and that was
Yeah.
one of them.
But I remember the Forrest Gump thing because I was like, oh, cool. So there's like all these like, I mean, I know it's kind of corny, but you don't really realize it. But there's all these like little nods to
eggs.
Yeah, so it's like the box of chocolates,
Mm-hmm.
all that kind of stuff is like these little nods to that. Which maybe I shouldn't even say, but
No, why not?
I mean,
That's
I think
like
it's kind
the-
of cool.
I like that, like all those satellites, and then having to distill it into one thing, but it still has memories of everything.
Yeah. And it's its own thing. you
Yeah.
know? No one watching it would ever pick up on that if you
They can feel it though.
You
You can
did.
feel the energy.
They can definitely feel it.
Okay, hit it.
No family safe when I sashay.
I like always forget how major, like this is super major.
Yeah,
And it
it's cool.
felt very major to me because there's so many things. We did so many things and you set up so many.
Well, there was also like just so many locations, which is part of like I think like I mean you would never do that now. Like I
Mhm.
mean we shot like all of those are different locations, like the factory and then like the area that we used as the interior of the factory were actually totally separate. Like from a production standpoint, it like makes no sense to like shoot like 20 locations.
Yeah.
But we didn't really know any better. But yeah, it's like even the elevator is like a totally other
Right.
location. And it's funny because I love that the elevator shot, like when you go in and you come out and you have the
Mhm.
different outfit on. I remember like months later, Rihanna had that same thing in Bitch Better Have My Money. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm sure this was not the reference, but I would love to pretend that,
Yeah.
that someone was
You
like,
never
that's a
know.
good
You
idea.
never know.
Well, so I had never been in I had never been in a video like this where I just suddenly was like in something and doing. I hadn't even really not performed where I wasn't just behind the piano
Yeah.
before. You know what I mean? Like I was intending to, but I hadn't played this song live or anything before we made the video, and so I had never like done
Yeah,
stuff. Like the Hood video was just like one shot, and I kind of just like emoting a little bit, but I wasn't like.
Yeah.
I remember feeling like nervous about that and like overwhelmed, but in like a really fun way because it was exactly what I
Yeah.
wanted to do and was like aspiring to be. Just go for it.
Yeah.
more.
Well,
You
and
know
it's
what I mean?
also like, I mean, I've told you this before too. It's like, the song is just, it's so good. And you can, you know, like, you can only, you really, you can make an amazing video, but if like the song isn't good, there's only so much you can do.
Mhm.
And it was one of those, do you hate me talking like this?
No,
Like,
I like
there's
it.
like, I mean, I just remember like when you first sent it to me, I was so
Mhm.
excited because I was like, oh, this is going to be such a good video. It's like anything that I do is going to be awesome because the song is so good, you know, and it's so immediate and it has such a vibe to it, you know,
Mhm.
like, and it's also, I remember the first thing about it was I was like, oh, the song feels so cinematic. It already feels like it should be a part of like a movie. So it kind of, it really allowed itself to like
Blow up.
go to this kind of place. And it's also, I just also love, I always love like seeing like an artist like actually break stuff.
I was just gonna say that too because I feel like this is like kind of what everybody wants to do a little bit in their music video.
Yeah.
Like, is just destroy shit. And
Yeah,
it just reminds me of being like an angsty teenager listening to PJ Harvey and just
Totally.
like knocking over my dresser.
totally.
and,
No,
like,
it's true.
you
It's
know,
like, that's so true because it's like that 90s alternative thing. It's like, that's what you did in a video.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're like, we're going to break some shit.
Right.
You know, like,
And it's still satisfying to watch. It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, do that too.
yeah. And this was, I remember it's also, in this scene, there's a third person in it, which was Bailey. And Bailey was doing your hair,
Mhm.
and she had an extra wig, so it was like this thing of like, here, just put the extra wig on and just jump around. It was like there was, you know, which I always think is like the best thing is like like because this was very planned out what we
Mhm.
were gonna do, but then we also had the freedom of time
Mhm.
where it was like we could kind of like you know, be in this one room wrecking the space for as long as we wanted. And I think because we didn't really know any better, we just did.
Yeah.
You know, for better or worse. Because, I mean, you know, this was like a 5-day shoot.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It didn't need, but you know what I'm saying? It didn't need to be that long. But it was also, it's like, it was ambitious and it's like short on resources. So, you know, it's like, all right, we're just gonna.
That's a lot of resources, though. I'm just like I walked into it fully foreign, but someone put up every single one of those birds. It's wild to me.
Yeah, no, it's good. Well, and you know, what is the thing that Jenny says in Forrest Gump about "make me a bird"?
Whoa,
So
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
one.
it's like all like that was the kind of that was where like they're throughout everything, like her whole like bird prayer that she does, her mantra.
I didn't know. Wait, maybe I did know that.
You probably did. You probably did. But yeah.
I hope people are watching this video and just like leaving it being like, yeah, Forrest Gump. Like,
Definitely.
like, why am I
Definitely
thinking
not.
about Forrest Gump?
Definitely not. I think it would be a bummer if they did.
Yeah, no.
I don't
You
think
know?
I've ever seen Forrest Gump.
What?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's like one of my favorite movies.
Really?
So that's why I latched onto it when you should watch it. Well, and
I think of it as a thing, but I don't think I've ever seen the movie.
You
like
should
I have
watch
an
it.
idea of it, and
have you seen it?
I've definitely seen it.
I
many,
think
many times.
I've always
never
said
seen
I
it.
think there's this like gay storyline to it.
Definitely.
Because you've got like this outcast who's like obsessed and really close with his mother. He has one friend that's a girl who he like vicariously lives through.
Mhm.
And the girl, like, she experiences all the like counterculture stuff of like being a hippie or the Black Panthers
Right.
or like disco or like dying of AIDS. Even.
Right.
So it's like got this like very
She dies of AIDS.
Mhm.
well, it's unspoken, but that's like so I always thought there was like this gay
That's
thing
really
happening in that movie. So, but anyway, sorry.
Don't you know you're queen, gleaming, wrapped in golden leaf? Don't you know me?
Yeah, your face goes on top of that. Yeah.
Who was he? Someone's boyfriend?
He was Erica, the girl who's your
The
like,
rat?
No, that was Sam, the makeup artist. She had the rat.
So Erica's
Yeah.
my best friend.
Yes. And so that was her boyfriend at the time, Rock. So yeah, and like remember like in Forrest Gump, like Elvis stays at his mom's house, and then Lieutenant Dan had the like peg legs.
Yeah.
It's like,
I feel like I must have known all of
It was
this,
just
but
like-
the overall experience.
Yeah.
Became the thing.
But it's
I
also
remember the
just
most.
it's such an iconic. I always thought it was like so iconic to like be at a urinal with Elvis.
Yeah.
You know, and you know what? It's like such a great moment. Like I would love to see that in a movie. You know,
Mhm.
like it's so cool.
Rank, ragged, skin sun on sheets. Case and
Your
Oh.
performance is so good in all of this too.
Well, honestly, I think it's the first time I had ever done that. I'd never done all that on stage before.
Yeah.
I literally
before that. Yeah.
No, I literally was sitting behind my piano and singing. I had never stood up even, let alone like did something with my body or like I don't know, went in like I never really went into an energy and then like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I kind of just was being like watched and witnessed. That's what I thought the show was.
Well, it's
Before-
funny too because I don't ever remember like even giving you any direction. It was like we just set up like scenes, and it's like here's what you're gonna
Yeah.
go from here to there, and then just do what you know what I'm saying. Like I don't ever remember saying anything about like
how I was supposed to be or act or
feel.
something.
Yeah, it's like you already kind of knew, you know.
Yeah. I was nervous, but like in a really fun way. And in a way that shows still feel like when they're good.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
totally.
Because it feels sort of like I don't know what I'm going to do or what it's going to be like. But also having a lot of info. Like a lot of research already. So then you
Yeah.
just kind of let it
Yeah, yeah.
be what it is. She's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
She looks
great. I mean,
really
she
good.
really does kind of look like Sharon Tate.
She does. Okay.
For us to break and harness into the bone.
Okay, I gotta say, like, this is the only thing about the video that I really wish I wouldn't have done that.
The face hole?
The face hole, yeah, because it looked cool at the time, but I feel like now it should have just been like a more simple,
Switch.
direct, like, transition. Like, we could have done. Sorry, I shouldn't even bring that up. It doesn't matter. But you know what I'm saying? Like, when you watch, I'm just like, oh, like, I wish I wouldn't have done that.
Well, I mean, that's 10 years. For
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? That's what
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
years will do, is you'll look back and be like, oh.
But I remember thinking this was, like, so cool,
yeah.
man.
No family is safe. We're not sashaying.
So true.
Yeah.
Can they hear what you're saying when the music is
I don't
playing?
know.
Because it was a good. It was
Well, it is what that Alan was just saying, that this is what everyone wants to do. Like if they're in a music video or even in real life, I would want to
Yeah,
do
who
it
doesn't want to get up
without
on the table?
being filmed.
Yeah. I also feel like I don't you feel like this has been done in so many videos now? Like I feel
Yeah.
like countless people have
Yeah.
gotten onto a table with like boardroom meeting and
Mhm.
like men and been
Mhm.
like, how dare you?
I-
You started it all.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, honestly. I love, too, all these guys and how, like, after this video, they would, like, post all the selfies that, like, they had from this moment. And it was Mike with all these, like, older dudes. And I loved all those selfies that they were, like, so excited about it. You know?
He was the hottest one, I think.
Yeah, he was really hot.
Yeah.
But they were also down. Everyone, like, that's a cool thing. Actually, you know, something that I feel like I should say is like, this video was shot in Kansas City, and that's part of the reason why we were able to do something so epic and ambitious,
Yeah.
because we were in a city that kind of gave us a lot of resources for, you know, and people helping out for very cheap.
Mhm.
So we were able to, you know, be really ambitious in a way that I don't think we would have anywhere else at that particular time. And like, you know, all these guys that showed up, I think we just got them off of Facebook, you know, like
Mhm.
they were, and I don't think they weren't familiar with your music, but after this, they were like huge fans, you know.
I
Like,
still like messages some of them, or like when I posted.
You're like sitting like,
No, not like we like catch up, but like if I post about it or they post about it, I'm like, hee, hee, hee. Or like send a heart emoji or something, because they all were really nice. I had never been there before. The whole thing felt really like high frequency in a really
Yeah.
good way, and seasoned my whole thoughts about the city whenever I go there. Have been there. This is what I think about, and all the people that I met doing this and stuff. You know.
This
Yeah.
also like forever changed shrimp for me. Like I feel like I always associate shrimp with you now, Cody. Like when I think of see it, like see it, like see a big claw.
that was the point.
Yeah. I feel like
A prawn.
yeah.
Big
I
old
feel like
prawn.
those are prawns. They're definitely jumbo shrimp.
I don't even remember why they were so big.
Well, but wait, shrimp is also
Yeah,
like the
bubble
bubble
gum.
gum thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not sure why they were so enormous. But everyone do you guys have one still? Because I have one, and then I feel like they became like everyone wanted one.
I mean, I can see it. I feel like I've seen it outside of this
yeah.
room too. So I don't. Maybe I saw yours.
Yeah. Natasha
Yeah.
has one.
Maybe I've seen
Wow.
Natasha's.
I mean, actually, that's something too. Is so Natasha Newman Thomas, who styled this video, this was the first time we worked together.
Really?
Was on this video. Yeah, and
But
so
you had known each other.
we knew each other through her. We had mutual friends, but after this video, like we just worked together on almost
Mhm.
everything. from this point on. So, and actually, a lot of people that worked on this video are people I still work with a lot, and that I'm super close with. So that's something.
Yeah, she was a big part of this video to me.
Yeah, no, definitely, and she was amazing too because I feel like she brought like she kind of elevated things and simplified things, which I have trouble doing. I'm like a maximalist, and she's good at like kind of simplifying things, but she's also like extremely scrappy and down to like deal with something that's like unreasonably brutal. You know what I'm saying? Like
somehow seemingly really easily, even though it's like a ton of work for her.
Yeah, totally. So I think that was kind of what sealed the deal in our like friendship, you know, and us being collaborators.
Yeah,
was this video. I don't remember who was massaging, but that was like something that just randomly happened where it was like, go over there and start massaging her.
Go massage her.
Because she's so good in that. Like, oh, it's amazing. There's also, I think the best VFX thing we did is when her face, like the
eye is sick.
It looks so good. You look so good in that profile shot.
I'll take it.
You do. I think you look really great in this video.
No, I do too.
It's really, I actually love this scene too.
Me too. It's emotional to me.
Yeah,
it's like really like emotional.
Well, you remember in Forrest Gump when she's like on the balcony listening to Freebird?
Yeah.
You know, and she's like, she just did a bunch of coke. There's like a scene in that movie where she's just done a bunch of coke. She's like on a balcony getting ready, and Freebird is playing. And I was like, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with that scene. I used to like reenact it from my like bedroom window. I'm not kidding. I'm like, that was like my dream in life. Like, one day I'm gonna live in a city and I'm gonna like maybe jump from
weird about being gay is that like you just know, or you're planning to in like 10 years to be addicted.
Isn't that
like
crazy?
Cocaine.
No, I couldn't wait.
Yes.
I couldn't.
And that was it. And being in the city.
Yeah.
That was
in the city.
That was it. I did that. We all did it.
It's true.
We did it.
Did it. Yeah.
We did it.
It's true. Even though that's lo-fi, or you know what I'm saying, I love that little clip. And I remember when we were shooting it, the tear was real because we had that giant fan on you, and it was irritating your eye, and so that was the take we used.
The whole thing, like this part, is really beautiful. I still cannot believe that all of these things happened, that you made all of these things, that you organized all of them, that you like executed all of them. It's insane.
Well, that's what people do.
I know, but not the way that you did it, and not the amount.
Well, but I also had a lot of help with it too.
I know, but just the whole thing's still like so overwhelming to me in a good way.
It's really cool.
I love this.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
I didn't meet them though.
No, because we shot that the day after you left.
Yeah.
So yeah, because.
And I remember you sending me a selfie with all of them.
Yeah.
Where are they now? I want to know. Where are these girls now?
Who knows? Should we find them?
Do you think that they're jumping from the building, listening to Freebird high on cocaine?
Definitely not.
Definitely not. They're still there.
Yeah, they're still there.
They're all still there.
They're all still there, man.
Was the pig? I remember. Was the pig Wrangler? Do you remember her?
I do remember her. I don't. You know what's funny though is that is the one thing in the video that I don't remember why it's there.
The pigs?
Yes, I'm sure there was like a reason. I'm sure I wrote it in for some reason, or it was something I'd want. But I'm like, I really lost on like what that was about. I'm sure it had some sort of significance. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. But I don't remember what it was exactly.
The pig was screaming too. I remember feeling really bad.
But then he liked you.
I know.
He calmed
Well,
down.
that's why I was sad. Is because I wanted so badly to like intuitively make the pig love me and be not scared. And so it's sad that it didn't.
But it
happen.
did eventually.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, like they started to calm down.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
They are really cute. And then they scream though.
Yeah.
Like scary. Okay. I love that too.
Yeah,
that, like,
same.
Corner ending.
It's funny because this reminds me. I mean, this happened after this, but like the Fool video, and I know we're not talking about that. All those like feathers makes me.
Oh, yeah.
They were in the. I feel like, I don't know what Charlotte's inspiration was for that, but like it feels like it's like a little
Continuation.
Easter egg moment as well,
Yeah.
like a cohesion thing. But yeah, that was such a major moment. It's so fun to think back. I mean, it was 10 years ago, and I feel like it absolutely feels like 10 years ago to me.
Yeah, it really
Like,
does.
it doesn't. It's not like, oh yeah, that feels. I can't believe it's 10 years. For me, it's like it fully feels like 10 years.
Yeah. No, it definitely does.
Especially because it was really formative. It was like the first time I'd ever sang like that, moved, done anything like that before. Do you know what I mean? And it like shift that video, the song. Even when I wrote the song, it like shifted everything into like something I wasn't even thinking what we were doing would ever be.
I remember when it came out, like the response being like so immediate and over the top. Like people were really, just instantly into it and excited by it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, the song, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just like kind of this new moment for like what you were doing.
It did feel like explosive in this way that I'm trying to like, I feel like doesn't happen anymore. Like, I feel like just a way that like it was a different time in music, like in just culture in general, where I'm trying to think if anything in the last few years has felt, or maybe that was about just
our experience
at that time. I just don't feel like things have impact in that way anymore. Like I don't feel like things like a song comes out and like breaks the internet. You know, like
I think it does, but maybe not our internet.
Maybe it's just not my my algorithm or whatever.
Or maybe it's just like I'm not involved in things that do that.
Yeah.
Maybe this was like one of those moments where I happened to be involved in something that like felt like culturally. Like,
no,
important.
I think there really is something to what I'm saying. I think I think it's just things feel more saturated now more than they ever have before. Like just every industry I feel feels like that, and so it's hard to feel like nothing really feels like it hits.
But also, I mean, I feel like I'm like even like hesitant to say something like this, but I kind of feel like at the time there just wasn't anything like very gay out in the world, like in music, or that was like tasteful or cool. Like what existed at that time? Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? I feel like people are a little bit more like aware or like
more brazen in their like output. Yeah,
or even like kind of doing it without like, well, I don't know how to say it. To me, I think that in and of itself was such a different thing. Like that wasn't like really happening.
Well, I really wanted to do that.
Yeah.
That's what, you know what I mean? I was like dedicated to that idea.
Yeah.
Or especially like doing it in this way that felt very like, I mean, just like the message of this song is like taking the defiance sort of I don't know if like queerness had been like sort of worn in this specific way yet, or I mean, I'm sure it had, but
Well,
maybe.
It also just feels like the way that we do. It just feels like us. Do you know what I mean? I think that is what is so powerful to me. Is that it just feels like us and our ideas and what we love and what we're mad about, like a whole bunch of stuff all at once. And it's like still funny and serious and like beautiful and things that like all existing at the same time.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember, do you remember how we started talking? On Twitter. Because I was a fan of yours, but I was like convinced that you were very serious.
Right. Yeah.
And then I was following you on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh, you're so funny." And I was like, "Oh, I think we would get." And I DM'd you. I was like, "We should make a video."
Yeah. And then we did.
Yeah, that's cool. I just feel like I should say that.
No, I think that's a very fun misconception. I don't. I think so many artists and musicians are their personality is like almost the opposite of like the kind of music they make. Like I feel like I'm over and over and over again meeting people and being like, whoa, this is not at all what I expected you to be like, you know? In a fun way. Like I love that. Like when
most people aren't, I don't think.
When people that make really make serious music and then you meet them and they're just like completely irreverent and ridiculous. And like, you know,
or people who make like really fun, happy-go-lucky music are like miserable.
Like, that happens a lot too. I think it's just all that stuff at once.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I'm very serious about making the music part. Maybe the music is a little funnier now. I don't know. I'm very serious about the music, but other than that, I'm not.
You really are not.
Well, I don't have the energy to,
Yeah.
and everything's. I just would rather laugh all the rest of the time. Do you know what I mean? As much as possible. So everything seems.
I think anything though, like if you're
like chaos to me.
If you're like dedicated to anything, even if it's like funny, it's still like you're serious about about the execution of it, you know.
And they don't feel that separate to me, really, honestly, at all. It just feels like the same thing. Well, we did it. 10 years.
10 more years. 10 more years of Queen. All right, should we say goodbye?
Yeah. Bye.